Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well. As we get into more things going on. I said in video number 1 that this was going to be a big day. There's already loads of things kicking off. Well, we now have the second half. If you didn't catch video number 1, go and have a look right here. Much appreciated. Hit this link. We're going to the latest on Kudus, the breakthrough on Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal, as well as other things in there too. So go and have a butchers. Much appreciated. In this video, like I said, second half. But are we going to have a second half that's calm, or are we going to have a second half like PSG, who go down to 9 men but still score the second and winning goal? Probably the latter. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the latest on Madueke. So, Madueke latest from Miguel Delaney saying Chelsea want £50 million. Arsenal want to pay £40 million. Okay, 40, yeah? Arsenal, are we idiots? Or... you know, listen, you should count yourself lucky that we're even entertaining this conversation. Yeah? We've come to save your skin here. If not, you're not going to have a backup, a good backup to Saka. You know? I mean, what could that do for your title race? There's probably fans now in the comments going, yeah, but we're getting Gyökeres, so it's fine. It probably is fine, I'm not going to lie. But... Madueke, yeah? Listen, Elanga is on his way out for 60. It's 50, please. 50 million. And because you're Arsenal, we want some add-ons as well. You know, if you were, I don't know, if you were Everton, we might let it go. Or if you were Bournemouth, then we might let it go. But you're Arsenal. So we need some add-ons, please. This is what I'm assuming is going on in the negotiation room between Chelsea and Arsenal. But look, 50 is a good price that Chelsea have set here. 40, Arsenal are happy to pay. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. And if I'm going to be honest, on the condition, now this is where we're starting to get into some dangerous waters. I told you guys what was going on earlier on with Kudus, and now it's not looking so good. And then I put the thought forward of Rodrygo. But we need to get someone in. It wouldn't be good if we let go of Madueke and didn't get anybody in to replace him. That would be a shambles. I'll be honest. That would not be good. If we're going to sell Madueke and we accept 45 plus add-ons, then so be it. Cool. But we need to stand on business and get a proper right winger in. Or do we just expect Pedro Neto to just be there by himself? No. So we'll see what happens on the valuation front. But more on Madueke himself. Madueke is understood to be interested in Arsenal's vision and project, and Arteta has approved. Madueke would also maintain same salary structure he has now at Chelsea if the deal happens. A compromise on price tag could be reached between clubs due to good relations on several deals. I mean, to be fair, we've got great relations with Arsenal. Yeah, they always take our retired players. You know, it's great. The ones that are always looking to start, you know, thinking about applying for their pensions, Arsenal are always there to just welcome them and take them in. So, yes, we do have a good relationship with Arsenal. Arsenal don't have a good relationship with us. That's the truth. But we have a great relationship with them. They're always there, you know. They're like our carer. When we need someone that needs some caring for and they're reaching old age, Arsenal are there, you know. Carers allowance and all of that. Arsenal get it all, you know. So respect. Loads of looking after by Arsenal. They're very compassionate at Arsenal. It's very nice. So thank you. Madueke, for being honest, is nowhere near pension age. And they're looking to bring him in just as a backup for Bukayo Saka. So he's currently on, if I'm not mistaken, Madueke is on 50 or 60 grand a week at Chelsea. Yeah, I know Arsenal will take that because Arsenal's wage structure is not as low as ours. I don't think anyone's as low as ours. But they would accept that for sure. If he's willing to just stay on the same sort of salary, yeah, Arsenal will take that instantly. So that's why I'm assuming personal terms have not been much of a problem. And we'll see what happens on the club-to-club end. And I'm sure there's going to be an agreement very soon. Post-Club World Cup, I think the deal will be done. So we'll wait until this tournament finishes. Whether we reach the final or we don't, or we win the whole thing, then hopefully that can all be settled. But Chelsea need to go and get themselves a winger. So we're going to come back to that later on because there's been news on a winger, as you can tell in the title. But let's move to Gyökeres. What's the latest? Things have happened already, and there's actually a little bit of a shock on Gyökeres. Actually, I'm going to tell you my analysis after this because I've said it for a while, and now we're finally starting to get some understanding here, and it actually justifies what I've been saying. Let's get into it. Victor Gyökeres has once again made it clear in the last few hours that he only wants to join Arsenal. A full agreement until 2030 is in place after a very good phone call with Mikel Arteta. Negotiations with Sporting are ongoing. As always reported, Man United were never a concrete option in recent weeks. I'm just saying, by the way, yeah, Man United, you lot are in the mud. Like, all these teams are moving and United are just sitting there doing nothing. Like, nothing. Yeah, like they got Cunha, great. But literally, that's it. Nothing. For a club that's meant to be moving, they're not. Let's keep reading. Meanwhile, Andrea Berta was focused on Benjamin Sesko and Gyökeres. There have been no new developments between Arsenal and RB Leipzig recently. Now Arsenal are trying to finalise the Gyökeres deal. So what? RB Leipzig just didn't pick up the phone, or is that the problem? Is RB Leipzig are the problem? Let's keep reading. Understood, the clubs are discussing an initial €65 million fee plus add-ons. Structure is going to provide important, or be important. Sporting want the add-ons to be achievable and a higher guaranteed payment. Arsenal confident on reaching a deal soon. On top of this, we also have the agreement between Gyökeres and Arsenal on personal terms is valid until June 2030, 5 years. Victor has been clear with Sporting as reported, only Arsenal as soon as possible. Club-to-club talks advancing, underway to get it done. He really wants this move. And it's clear because of this. Victor Gyökeres has accepted to give up €2 million from his salary in order to facilitate negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting. Sporting insist on higher fee compared to Arsenal proposal, and Gyökeres tries his best, also giving up money to make it happen as per Record. So, Record Portugal do tell some truth. Had to clarify that one, yeah, because we know the reputation with Record Portugal is in the mud with what happened in the past. But nice to know they told the truth on this one. But he's given up €2 million to move to Arsenal. He's given that up. So hang on. So when I was here, yeah, asking, why is no one moved for Gyökeres? What's the issue? What's the problem? Why is no one moving? And people were saying, oh no, but his salary might be crazy, or he might be asking for too much, or he's a problem, or Arsenal have literally walked in, knocked on the door, hello Sporting, we want to make a bid, we want this player, cool. Gyökeres is like, yes please, I am available, I am here. And you know what? Just to make it easier, I will knock off €2 million of my salary. Sporting Lisbon, over to you, I want the move. And Sporting, who did at one time say that, you know what, this was last week, saying, oh no, we're not going to let him go for 60 plus 10. I know he's going to leave, but we're not going to make it that easy. Now talking about 65, 60 million euros, plus some add-ons, and Arsenal are about to get a deal done. So it wasn't difficult. So what the hell was everyone else doing? And I have to say, I mean, well, for Chelsea, I wanted either Osimhen or Gyökeres. Yeah, get me one of them because we need a killer. We went in the direction of João Pedro. Now, for as much as João Pedro does deserve a chance, because I don't want to put blame on the player. I don't want to go, oh no, but João Pedro, nah, but nah. Despite any doubts, he's at Chelsea now, we've signed him, he's a Chelsea player, welcome to Chelsea, mate, no problem. He deserves the opportunity. Fair. Yeah, and he might actually do really well. But this whole idea that, nah, Gyökeres, it's too difficult, or no one can go near him. I was going, why is no one moving? Turns out it was easy. I have to ask, why was no one moving? Only Arsenal have found literally the coast is clear and they've gone, all right, we'll go in then. And I thought they were going to go and get Sesko. And clearly RB Leipzig probably didn't even open their flipping email. Anyway, Gyökeres is going to Arsenal. If it falls through at this point, it's a miracle. So we're going to get our answers. We're going to get our answers to those that reckon that Gyökeres is going to come to the Premier League and flop. I don't. I think he'll do well. This is why I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Not necessarily in terms of, like, for example, what Chelsea might do, but I'm concerned on how well Arsenal might do with Gyökeres. That's the problem. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts. Now, we move to the winger situation. We spoke about Kudus in video number 1. And I did tell you guys, okay, look, if Kudus is so adamant on Tottenham, I don't know what player is so adamant on Tottenham. That's a new one. But, okay, Chelsea, we got to be serious. Go and get Rodrygo then. Yeah, we need to at least knock on the door and try and make something happen with Rodrygo. Well, just as I say that, PSG have made contact with Rodrygo's camp should he choose to leave Real Madrid. That's come from ESPN in Brazil. It's just not easy, is it? It's just not easy. I mean, PSG, what, guys, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I know what you're doing, and you're doing it right. I'm not even gonna lie, you're doing things correctly. I mean, flipping, they got Kvaratskhelia, they got themselves Dembele, now they want to go and get Rodrygo. I mean, it's just flipping, it's all over the gaff. Do you know what I mean? It's that's proper ambition. You know, that's real. That's intent. With Rodrygo, I mean, yeah, would he fit PSG? Yes and no. Who's moving to the bench? Is it going to be? I mean, Barcola pretty much is on the bench, and there's a rotation going on between him and Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia is the first choice. Is there going to be a thing between Rodrygo and Desiree Doué? Because Doué has been playing, and he's been playing really well. And, you know, is he going to be benched? What's that dynamic saying? Just saying. But, yeah, PSG are not messing about. The only, look, there's an opportunity here, yeah? Chelsea, look, we should honestly try and move for Rodrygo. We should. Because I believe we do need a right winger. Now, not to take away, we also need a centre-back. And for the love of God, go and get Mike Maignan. We need a goalkeeper, yeah? I think we need Hato as backup for Cucurella. And then I think we're good. That's our business done. But we do need to look at the possibility that Madueke is heading out the door and the hole that might leave in terms of the squad. And I think, look, Rodrygo is there. At least try and move for him. We have an opportunity here if we're not in a good negotiating position at the moment because it's PSG and because they're European champions, because they're willing to pay what I think we're not willing to pay. There's one opportunity here. And you want to know what that opportunity is? That opportunity is the Club World Cup final. Yeah? And if we make it to the final and it's PSG that we have to face, if we beat them, flipping, that is when you move to Rodrygo. And you go, listen, brother, yeah? You want to go to PSG? Listen, our squad and our project, and ever you could use all the flipping words and shenanigans and buzzwords that you can use to try and sell this as much as possible. Yeah? Everything that we're doing, and we've beaten PSG to win the Club World Cup. So this will be better for you. That's literally the one bargaining tool that we'll have. But we got to beat PSG in the final. And that's not going to be easy. That's if we make the final. We got to beat Fluminense first. So let's not get carried away. But you get the gist. We need to go all the way in this competition to be able to compete with PSG for a player like Rodrygo. If PSG are interested. Till earlier on, PSG were not involved in Rodrygo. And now it seems like they are. So now we got a problem. So let me know your thoughts on that. Now, West Ham, talking about Kudus, are not happy. They're not happy. So, Sky are saying there is a big gap in valuation between West Ham and Tottenham for Mohamed Kudus. Hope we hold out for near £70 million all in, says West Ham Central. If you go to all the West Ham pages, they are literally calling Kudus a snake. They are on his back. They are all sorts because they feel like a player who has not been there for too long that they actually really need, and now he's advocating to go to Tottenham, and it's Tottenham. West Ham and Tottenham also have a thing. You know, like Chelsea and Tottenham have one. Chelsea and West Ham have one. West Ham and Tottenham have one. So they're not happy, and they don't like him at the moment, if we're being honest. So that's that. But if they're not meeting valuation, there's a big gap. I want to stress, there's still a chance for Chelsea to enter properly and make their intent clear. But again, I feel like there's not going to be much done up until we leave the Club World Cup, and hopefully that's if we win it. So we'll see what goes down. Let me know your thoughts on all of that. Much appreciated. Now, Nico Jackson, there's a little update from David Ornstein. I don't think they, so Chelsea, are actively trying to shift Nicolas Jackson, but he is liked by a lot of clubs, and Chelsea are always open to conversations. This is about Nicolas Jackson. Now, there was a thing that came out, when was it, 2 days ago? That says there's a lot of Premier League clubs, and there are clubs abroad, including from La Liga, who are interested in Nicolas Jackson. So there are suitors. Are we going to sell him? Money talks. The money talks. Simple. If there's a club that pays up and goes, listen, we want Nicolas Jackson, boom, here's the fee. Chelsea will go, okay. Because we've got Liam Delap and we've got João Pedro now. We're covered in the striker position, at least in terms of numbers. So now we can talk quality and all of that. That's a different conversation. We're going to have to wait for the Premier League season to start to know. For João Pedro and for Liam Delap. But for numbers, yeah, we're not in a position like we were where we only had Nicolas Jackson. So that's that. We'll see what goes down. Is a club going to move for him? I think a club will come in for Nicolas Jackson at some point in the window. Maybe not now, but down the window, I think someone will make a move. Just like I thought that Madueke would get approached and now he's leaving, I think someone's going to move for Nicolas Jackson. So we will see. Time will tell. Now, news from L'Equipe as well as Fabrizio on a midfielder. Chelsea and Valencia are close to agreeing a season-long loan for Leslie Ugochukwu. That came from L'Equipe. And this is actually quite bizarre because it seems like L'Equipe are wrong. And we're talking about a French international here, Ugochukwu, as you can see, wearing the France emblem on his chest, right? Or is he a French under-21? He's a French under-21. Has he made the French national team? I don't think he has. But Fabrizio came out and said this. Valencia and more clubs interested, but Chelsea say no to loan move. Priority is to sell. So, being close to agreeing a season-long loan apparently is not the truth, but I have to question. L'Equipe, when it comes to French players, normally know what they're talking about. So who's right here, L'Equipe or Fabrizio? Is it going to be a season-long loan or Chelsea saying no loan, we're selling? Either they're close to agreeing or Chelsea are against it. Pick one. We'll see. Time will tell. I think Ugochukwu will be sold. I don't think it'll be a season-long loan. I think we've got enough midfielders. I don't think Ugochukwu has a future. I think Chelsea will sell. Personally, I think that's what will happen. So, we'll see. But time will tell us. Let me know your thoughts. Now, Barcelona. And this is interesting. Understand FC Barcelona want to try again for Marcus Rashford. A move for Luis Diaz is currently very unlikely, so Barca have reopened talks with Rashford. The 27-year-old winger is set to leave Man United, where he is under contract until 2028. Rashford has many inquiries, and Barcelona are one of them. And we know that he also did offer himself to Barcelona, apparently, or he was willing to go to Barcelona. And look, the whole thing between Barcelona and Nico Williams has collapsed. And Nico Williams is staying at Athletic Bilbao. There's a release clause for Nico Williams that has gone up to 100 million. Are Barcelona going to be in a position to trigger that down the line? Maybe they are. So if that's the case, they need a short-term solution. The good short-term solution to turn to would be Marcus Rashford. That is a good short-term solution for Barcelona. So this makes sense. I anticipate Barcelona in the future will try and go again for Nico Williams. But for now, this is a good move to have Rashford into the squad. It's nice cover. It's a decent level. Good player. We'll see how he does in Spain. But yeah, for Barcelona, this actually makes sense. If the intention is to go back in for Nico Williams. Now, if that intention isn't to go back in for Nico Williams, then I don't know. Maybe they're just going to try and see what happens with Rashford. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, they'll go and get someone else. I don't know. But Rashford will be counting his blessings right now, considering that he's out of favour at United. We know he was offering himself to all sorts, and now he might land Barcelona. Flipping hell, you're a lucky lad, mate. You're a lucky lad. To go from United to Barcelona after being ousted by Man United would be flipping miraculous, mate. So good luck to you. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts on that one. To wrap up, Victor Osimhen and another striker. Al Hilal hope to sign a striker quickly. They are currently in talks with two players, Victor Osimhen and Dusan Vlahovic, reports L'Equipe. Listen, Al Hilal and Osimhen on the phone right now will just be hilarious. I mean, they've spoken, what, about 25,000 times? Victor Osimhen keeps picking up the call and just going, I said no. Leave me alone. Do you know what I mean? Vlahovic makes sense. We heard earlier on that Galatasaray apparently have agreed a personal terms with Osimhen for 16 million euros. Seems like that's done. So now it's just about them getting him bought from Napoli properly. And look, I don't think Al Hilal are going to get Osimhen. If not, they would have got him by now. It's not happening, so forget it. Vlahovic makes sense. So I think that's where we should be looking. Al Hilal probably going for Vlahovic. So keep your eyes on that one. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts. Much appreciated. I will catch all of you tomorrow for a double. We will be doing a news video as well as the preview for Fluminense versus Chelsea, the Thiago Silva Chelsea reunion. The preview to that will be tomorrow because we play them on Tuesday, where there will be a watch along and there will be a review. So make sure you guys are subscribed, notification bell on, and I'll catch all of you tomorrow for a double. I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.